Hello, here is week one of our October series talent show, Brave the Stage. We'll be talking about courage. This week's Bible story is the story of Moses being born and how his older sister Miriam kind of hid him away in the river, the basket in the river. Hopefully you're familiar with that. First activity here is called Bumps in the Night. It's a little bit of like a card game. So we have a stack of cards here. There will be 2 decks of cards for each group basket. So if you need to divide your group into a smaller group, it works best with about 4 to 6 players on this game. But basically we want to put all the cards together, flip them over, and then kids can draw a card. Most of the cards will have a question. So true or false, in a twist ending, we learn that Darth Vader is Moses' true father. That would be false. So then if a kid answers it correctly, they keep drawing, and then they keep going and going until they get a question wrong. Or if they draw one of these cards that says bump, then they lose all of their cards, and then play continues to the next person. Here is your answer sheet, kind of your master list of all the questions. And if there's any dispute about how a child answers it, you can defer to this. But it's just a fun game to play to help review the story and then have like a little bit of a card game associated with it. Next activity is another game. Piecing together the verses is the wrong title, excuse me on that. But the game here is these different fear cards. So the fear of being left out. There's a whole bunch of other ones here. Fear of big dogs, things like that. And it's basically the game headbands. So you're going to use the tape and tape a card to a kid's forehead so they cannot see what is on their card, but everyone else in the group can. And then the kid with the card on their head is going to ask yes or no questions. You might say, is my fear something that would be at home? And you might say, no, not so much. Does it have something to do with being at school? Yes. And so it's kind of like 20 questions, but if you're familiar with the game Headbands, it's basically that. An adaptation for younger kids is that instead of younger kids thinking of the questions that they ask, you could kind of prompt the other kids in your group to just give them hints to narrow down what their fear might be. Last activity here is hieroglyphics verse puzzles. So we have the memory verse for this month, which is be strong and brave, do not be afraid, do not lose hope. I'm the Lord your God. I will be with you everywhere you go. It's a long verse. So we're breaking that down into 6 parts, and on the 6 parts, we have a worksheet here. So for part 1, you give this to 2 or 3 kids. They can work together with a friend or 2 friends. So you have your key down here, and then you have the symbols up here. So that symbol is, let's see, B. And that symbol would be E. So we have B, and then that'll spell out strong and brave. So kids can write in the correct letters there. And so you have part 1, and then the kids with part 2. So give the kids a couple minutes to work on their puzzles, then bring everyone back together and put the verse together in order, parts 1 through 6, as the kids are completing their little hieroglyphics decoder puzzles. So that's it for today's Bible story. Thanks so much.